Hey Plan Fam, welcome to the Happiness Heals channel. My name is Tiffany. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by and we hope you stick around. If you're returning, welcome back friends. Today we're doing a plan with me session. In a way, I'm going to be talking about my 2023 planner stack. What planners did I decide that I needed to carry with me into the new year? This year, I'm going to be using fewer planners than last, mostly. And I'm also switching out a few of my former favorites for some new ones to see how I like trying out different layouts, different brands, all that stuff. So let's get into it. The very first planner that I decided to use going into 2023 is my Erin Condren A5 Daily Dual Planner. I actually used this format last year as a catch-all planner, and at one point I was using it both for personal and work planning, but I primarily use it now just for personal planning, day-to-day planning, and I absolutely love it. I wanted to do kind of a quick flip through just to show you how I'm using it, and then let me know in the comments if you'd like to see some plan with me sessions. Now, I will say one thing about this planner. This should be probably my purse planner, but I'm actually going to show you another one that I'm using for my purse planner, and I'll explain why I don't quite use this one. So because I work from home primarily, I tend to use this one more or less around the house and to help me just plan out how to get through my days. So let's open it up and check it out inside. As you can see, I've put my name in, I've got comfortable with it a little bit. I may not show a little bit of everything, but I wanted to give you an idea of how I'm using it. So each month I actually start off using my calendar as a social media calendar, and that's another thing. This is a hybrid between my social media planner and my personal planner. I use the month for social media planning or my online planning, filming, editing, uploading, all those things. And then the dashboard and notes page I use for kind of my social media planning. What am I putting on Instagram or posting, brainstorming, those kind of things. As you can see, it's kind of touch and go as how often I get to touch it, but it's at least a place that I can launch those ideas or place those ideas as they fit or as the month is going along. This is my planner spread from the first of the year. As you can see, I was really excited about jumping right into it and starting to use it for my daily schedule as well as to-dos. And then here in this box is kind of a catch-all. Either I'll put a quote, I'll put something I'm grateful for, I'll put a daily goal, like whatever hits me that I cover the bills, whatever hits me that I need for that particular day, I kind of use this open space for, in order to make sure I still remember and capture that information. This here is going to be, I need to back plan a little bit, kind of a reflection on how the new year started for me. So there will be some things here reminding me about my goals, reminding me about what we did for the new year, all of that. These blank pages, as you'll see coming up, are kind of my memory keeping or highlights pages. So this is another example of how I'm using it day to day. As I mentioned, my different themes kind of change. If you've been here for a while and you remember when I was using the Erin Condren Petite Planners, this is similar to that. I like highlighting in here kind of to give it a little more pop in the background. Or some days when I don't want to use stickers, it's just a great way to kind of add a little color with less extra stuff. And then as you can see, I normally do my to-do list and then I'll either check it off if I get things done. I'll put an arrow meaning it needs to move to the next day, or an X in case I just don't need to deal with it anymore. So it's a good way to try to track the things that I like to do on a regular basis. And I try to list these things. It doesn't always happen because I do brain dump sometimes and just put things here, but I also try to list things in kind of a prioritized order so that as I'm going through the day, I'm completing things in the sequence that I think that I need to in order to get as much done as possible that particular day. So those are just some of the tidbits of like how I set this up. As you can see, I do love using stickers. That hasn't changed. changed. That will not change most likely, but it just kind of helps me see my habits, my events, what I need to restructure, all those different things. Some days it's a hit in terms of, just putting something here at the bottom, like I said, as an inspiration, motivation, or reminder. And then other days it's just a cute decor or a missed opportunity in this case, where I was hoping to have written something in about my day. So this is actually a new feature that I'm doing this year for my planners, and that is these weekly highlights pages. I really love them. It's kind of like mini memory keeping, and it basically just reflects back on some of the highlights for a particular day. So in this case, like, I've started reading a new book and I wanted to feature that because I haven't been reading hardcover books in a long time, and my daughter actually inspired me to do that. So this is kind of a reminder. We did a seafood boil for New Year's. I got some new appliances for my kitchen for the holidays, which is great. My daughter and my dog obviously just brightens me every time I see it. And then obviously my planning space or creativity are things that are important to me. So this is kind of a place where, and each one ideally will be a little different in terms of layout or, what I will cover, but it's just a way to kind of reflect back on like what I'm grateful for or what I remember and captured from those days. Also, these are most likely pictures out of my camera, just things that I randomly take pictures of throughout the week. So it also shows kind of through the lens of my cell phone or whatever, kind of what was important or what I wanted to remember. So I normally print these out on my Sprocket and then just pop them in on the sticker paper on these sheets. That's kind of mostly how I'm using this. I am really playing around a lot with like colors and themes and stickers, and it's just fun to do that. Some of them, are super cute, and then others are like, what was I thinking today? And then some days I also kind of pre-design it, so I may lay out what I want kind of down here at the bottom, and then go back and fill in exactly what I plan to do or what I did. I find myself doing more back planning of my day at the end of the day, which I also like, because a lot of times we plan and we have this idea of how our day is going to play out, and it never does. So you end up with these planners that don't accurately reflect. So I kind of like back planning in this planner even on a daily basis, because I can go back and think, okay, what time did I get up or start working on things, and what time did I start working, going to my meetings and all those things like that. So this is really a great way to be able to do that, and I love the formatting of this planner for that purpose. So as you can see, I'm just getting into the month of January, but I absolutely love it. For those that just want something to help you kind of put your day on paper, I highly recommend this formatting. The size of the planners is perfect for just tossing in your purse. It's a little thick. It is a little thick, but if you only have one planner or only wanted to really use one planner primarily, this one is a good fit for that in that respect. And if you buy this on the Erin Condren website, and I'll have a link in the description in case you want to use my affiliate code, which I would highly appreciate because that helps contribute to developing content for my channel. But if you're interested in purchasing it, a full year actually comes in 2 of these binders. So you would get January to June, and then July to December, or whatever time of the year that you start. You can, I think, customize that as well. But it basically will cover, like I said, a 6-month period in one, and then a 6-month period in the other. And then you also get to customize your covers that come on these binders as well. Now, the cover that I'm using here actually came from the winter seasonal surprise box, which I did purchase from Erin Condren. I absolutely love this and thought it was perfect for carrying into the winter. I have quite a few of these now, so I'll probably switch this out again for the spring. But for right now, it's working for me. I love it, and this is what keeps me sane every day. The next planner that I've put into rotation is actually this soft leatherette planner from Erin Condren. As you can see, I had it personalized with my name, and I did get the bloom design, which has this pretty rose gold detailing on it. I love the florals here. I love this design. You'll see that in a moment. But this is my basically work planner, and I call it my purse planner, and I'll show you why. Because I'm using the calendars here to help me keep track of all the different things I have going on a weekly basis. So whenever there's appointments or things that I need to keep track of from a monthly perspective, you would think I will put it in here, but I actually don't carry this one around with me, whereas I do carry this one in my purse or in my work bag everywhere that I go mostly. So I like keeping my appointments and things in here. It's also helpful because I use this primarily as a work planner to be able to plan around things in terms of scheduling for my office meetings and things like that. So that is what I am using this planner for. As you can see, I kind of fill it in with the appointments and things that we have to do personally on the calendar page. This is supposed to be my first version of kind of a dashboard for work. This is how this looks in terms of the layout inside. It's a horizontal layout. I wish they actually did the I think it's called the weekly layout. It's a new layout that they just rolled out, and it basically has like all of the days of the week as little boxes on the pages, but that didn't come in this size. I wanted A5, I wanted the leatherette, and I wanted it to be in this design. So I went with horizontal. I do like this for the moment, I will say, in terms of just being able to have all of my appointments and kind of a plan for what I need for work in the same place. I put my meetings here in the open air space between each day. Obviously, I don't necessarily need the weekend, so I normally use this to kind of take notes, plan for the next week, remind myself of things that are coming up, that kind of thing. I do from time to time put a sticker or two in here, but that's not necessary. It really is more minimal and functional in this particular planner. And then, as I mentioned, I put my work meeting schedule here in the boxes, normally in like a black or a blue, and then I'll do my personal appointments in like a color so that I can remember day to day like what actually is filling up my day personally and professionally in terms of scheduling. I also use this planner to track that as well, so it's kind of in two places, a little bit duplicative, but I love both planners and use them or rely on them in different ways. And I also say this one pretty much stays on my office work desk, and I have a creative space or even my nightstand in my bedroom is where I normally keep this one. So they're in different places in the house, but they do tend to have a lot of the same information, or I can use one to help me cross-reference the other one in case I think I have a conflict of sorts. The line spaces I primarily use for the different projects that I'm working on. I'll be honest, the only issue that I have with this is that I tend to have so much going on that this space doesn't always feel like enough for me. I used to use, if you recall last year, the Notique collection, and that gave me, funny enough, it gave me a full sheet to put all of my meetings and events for the day of the week, I should say, and then all of my to-dos for the week on a list. And it was kind of the opposite issue. It was like everything was there, but it wasn't a lot of structure to day-to-day how to get things done. So I'm trying to find the balance here. I don't necessarily I need to go back to that other format, but I do still have a lot of inserts there, and if this doesn't work for me long term, I think I will transition back to Notique. But I'm giving it a whirl. I'm definitely going to give it at least half of the year to try to see if this works well for me. And hopefully, as things kind of slow down in terms of my office work, then I'll see that it actually fits a little bit better versus right now where I feel like I need to do 50 things in a day and I just don't have the space to capture it all. So that is really kind of an idea of how I'm using this planner, and I won't actually share much more in there because it is work related and I have a lot of things going on for my job. So this is my work planner, or as I say, my purse planner, because it highlights and captures personal events as well as meetings and appointments and assignments, and I really like that for me. As I mentioned, I think I'm going to switch out the dashboard and start using that kind of as a personal tracker as well. So in terms of like my steps or my weight management or challenges, habits, and all those things, I'm going to play around with trying to use those dashboard pages to help me with those things, and I'll let you know how that works out, because trying to use it as a work dashboard isn't really the best fit for me right now. All right, the next one that I have, and believe it or not, we're halfway through. I can't even believe that, because normally I have like planners for days. But this year I really wanted to scale back, and I really wanted to focus on being productive and successful. And a big part of that is freeing up my time to do more of the things that I want to do versus trying to plan for those things. So maybe you can relate and maybe understand why that transition is important. But anyway, that's why you'll see less this time around. This is my new baby that I am nurturing and growing and beginning to love. If you watched my Moxie haul video, which I recently uploaded, you'll know that I purchased the Moxie goal setting system, I think during the Black Friday sale, which was a little ways last year, but I'm catching up in terms of all my content. And the intention was to start using it in 2023 as a way to really build habits for success and wellness and all the things that are important. And I like the fact that they had an existing system, particularly the Moxie wheel. If you're familiar with Erin Condren, then you know this is one of the petite folio covers. Once again, I love the bloom design, so I went ahead and purchased this cover, personalized it as well to kind of tie to the rest of my 2023 planning themes, so to speak. And in here, I have several notebooks. So I'm going to flip through each one, or flip to each one. Some of them I won't go in specifically because they have personal information. But I just want to give you an idea of kind of what I'm doing in terms of goal setting this year, because this is a priority for me. The bundle that I purchased included a 4-pack of the Moxie notebooks, and this is kind of the instruction booklet, which helps you do your initial assessment, and then based on that you develop these weekly, monthly, daily tasks associated with helping you complete your goals for the year. There are quite a few videos on YouTube about this system, using it, all of that. I'll say I'm a novice. I'm not ready to be able to tell others how best to use it. And I'll probably end up personalizing it mostly for my own benefit. So you probably won't see these videos just yet on my channel. But I will say that it so far has been a really good experience doing the process of preparing for my habits and goals and things that I want to accomplish this year. And in tangent with the book that I've been reading recently, Atomic Habits, it really speaks to creating better systems in life that are focused more on changing your lifestyle versus reaching a specific goal. And so these notebooks are helpful in that way because they help you figure out day-to-day systems that you can use to reach your targets and hopefully exceed your targets, which is why I think this system will really work for me, and I would highly recommend it to anyone else kind of looking for something similar. So what do I have in my Petite Folio for now, because this can change throughout the year. So the first thing that I have, this actually came as a freebie with the bundle, and that was the 2022 year-end reflections booklet. There was a lot of rave when this bundle was announced. It's a new product, so to speak, format, I should say, not product, but format for Moxie. And I like it because it's not a whole planner, it's just the system itself, which is what I needed. This year-end reflections booklet was actually a rave with existing Moxie users because it gave you a place to really go back and think through how your year went. It gives you a lot of prompts and questions to help you think about what were the wins, what were the losses, what were the things that you realize you really need to focus on going into the new year. Because I wasn't using Moxie last year, it's been a little bit of a learning curve. I just tailored it to myself and just kind of reflecting on my year with assuming I didn't use the system. And so it's been helpful in that way. And also being kind of a brain dump in forcing me to pause and really think about all the things that occurred in 2022 for me and my family. So I really like that. I'm keeping it in this binder for now as a way for me to reflect back on it as I start setting up my system and goals for 2023. The next thing I have in here is also from the winter seasonal surprise box. It was called the Big Picture Planner, and I think they actually sell another version of this on the Erin Condren site. I want to say this design might be exclusive, but the planner concept may not be. And if there is a new version of this, you'll see a link for it in the description if you're interested. It basically gives you a place to look at your monthly intentions, your monthly goals, and then kind of writing out a to-do list or a highlight of what those things are, even a place to put pictures or doodles or whatever you want, and then also some note pages to reflect or journal or highlight what you have going on. I haven't really started using this yet because I want to use it in conjunction with my Moxie system, and I don't want it to be redundant. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm putting the same information here. So I'm really going to pause on using this until I get a feel for how I want to use that and figure out how this can supplement that, if that makes sense. But I wanted to put this in here as well because I do like the formatting and layout of it. It has space for, you know, a different color each month and several pages to capture things. This planner will be used to supplement my Moxie planner because I do like the formatting of it, and I think it could be a nice addition to highlighting kind of what's going well or not so great with my Moxie planner. If I feel like I'm not using this enough throughout the year, then I may pull this out and replace it with something else. But for now, I want to see if, like I said, it's a good fit with my Moxie planner. The next one that I have here is the first booklet for the Moxie system. I did do a flip through of this and talk about a lot of the components in my Moxie haul video, so check that out first. But then also, I'm really starting to put a lot of personal information in here, so I don't want to start flipping through it too much because I do know I have some things that I really want to keep as the year progresses, and you'll probably see them manifest on my channel anyway. But this is becoming a really good system for me. As I said, the supplemental booklet really helped me in terms of looking at the various aspects of my life and figuring out where I need to focus my attention the most. So that is my Moxie planner in here. And then last but not least, I have just a productivity notebook where I can also write down individual projects or things that I'm trying to work on and to-dos and all those things. So I wanted to put this in here. I love this cover, and once again, it also goes with the floral theme. Like I said, several of these things may end up rotating in and out throughout the year as I need them, and that will actually probably lighten the load of the folio anyway. But that is my goal setting system for now. It is still January as I film this, so this may change quite a bit, as I said, getting into the year and seeing how well this system works for me. So I'll keep you posted and updated in terms of how things are going. And last but not least, I am still keeping the Budget by Paycheck workbook in my rotation as my budget planner. So if you're familiar with my channel, familiar with my videos, you know I absolutely love the Budget Mom and her products and the Live Rich Planner, which she also makes. But I had to be honest with myself in assessing 2022. I did not use that planner as much as I would have liked to. I love the creativity of doing my weekly spreads and sharing those with you, but it just wasn't a productive planner for me. So trying to use it on a regular basis is just not what I need it for anymore. And the monthly calendar even was becoming something that felt more redundant to the other calendars that I have. And I'm like, I can put this information in my other planners. I don't necessarily need another one. So I did shelve my Live Rich planner, and it was new. I think I had only used it maybe 2 months since when I purchased it, but you may see it from time to time. I may pull it out and do a chit chat with me because it's a great way to sit down and kind of think through my week that way, but I won't be using it on a regular basis. I did hold on to the Budget by Paycheck workbook because I love this. I love this system. I'm not always the best at it because my consistency has not been the best, which is why I stopped doing as much in terms of budgeting on my channel. But I love this system, knowing that it does work when you're being consistent and committed to it. And so that is one of my goals for this year, because my finances are one of my top priorities, to really deep dive and get back into it. So I have started using it for January, and I will be continuing to use it for the rest of the year. I love putting together my monthly budget calendars. If you've been on my channel before, then you're familiar with this. All my stickers and things are still here, highlighting all of that. I'm just trying to really focus on getting the work done rather than the aesthetics of the planning process. I probably won't be sharing as much initially because I really am trying to catch up, get on track, and stay committed and not making it about filming. But I also want to make sure I'm being accountable. So maybe on my IG, I'll post like my budget calendar or, highlights of kind of what's going on with my finances until I'm more comfortable with bringing others along on the journey with me and or trying to encourage you to start your personal finance journey yourself. Okay, so that is my planner stack so far for this year. 4 planners. Now, granted, I have other things that supplement this. I do have one other planner that will be coming soon, and I'll do a separate video for that. That is a fitness wellness planner from Erin Condren. It's a new A5 planner that they just launched, and hopefully we'll be using that to track my personal fitness and wellness this year. So we'll see how that goes. This is a lot lighter than I have used in the past, and so far so good. I've actually been able to sit down with each of these planners on a very regular basis, keep them updated, get familiar with them, and tailor them to fit my needs. So I'm absolutely loving that right now. Let me know in the comments below if you're using any of the same planners and or different ones. I'm just curious to know kind of what you chose for this year for your planner stack. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you'll be informed the very next time we have something to share on the Happiness Heals channel. Take care, friends.